Like, I'm just supposed to vibe to this shit?
Vibe.
Man,
Lit.
the DJ really fucked up, dude. I needed, like, ceremony and, like, award music.
So much ecstasy to enjoy this.
Oh my god, dude. This is like the crappy dance music that, like, plays when you're, like, very lightly when you're shopping at Mervyn's. Yeah, throwback. Oh, man.
We've been live for 40 seconds and didn't even drop the fucking intro.
Nope.
Fuck it, vibing.
Dude, just vibing to this fucking
All right,
trash ass.
So are we back? Are we back or do
And we're back! Episode, say it with me, boys.
Woo! 100, baby! 100.
We did it. 100. Oh my god, I can't believe this fucking piece of shit pirate ship has treaded water for like 2.5 years during, like, started in a pandemic, and we're still going. I mean, fuck, man, we haven't made a fucking dime off this shit, and we're still whatever. That's another story. Let's get cheers.
Jordan, we doing this?
I don't have any chaser.
Hell yeah, cheers.
I have whiskey straight.
Drink that shit.
Happy 100.
Cheers.
Woo! She's spicy, mama. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Happy 100, everybody. 100 motherfucking episodes. Oh, man.
I got swole over these 100 episode boys. I got a little fat.
I got beef. Way fucking fatter, dude. I went on tour. I'm sure if you look at that 5 episode gap, I definitely got fatter when I got back. For sure. There's no way.
That's what's been beautiful about this podcast for all of our listeners, for everybody who's tuned in for episodes in the past, is we don't really know where this is going to go ever. We come in with maybe about 4 or 5 bullet points we're going to talk about, and a lot of times it's that 77 Amtrak story, right? We go off the fucking rails. We go off the rails. We hit a house or two. We kill a couple pedestrians in the way, but you know what? We always get back on the tracks, baby. We always get back on the tracks. And I'm excited that we made it through 100 episodes. This is a milestone. It's a big move for us, and I just want to say that I'm so glad that we got picked up by CBS Network and the affiliates at.
Legally, I don't think you can say that because it hasn't happened yet, and I think that's a total fucking lie. And we'll probably Jesus.
I was hoping you'd kick me booted longer, so when I came back,
I should have just booted you the minute you said I just wanted to say.
Boot me
right there. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. We should talk about some current stuff before we take this self-involved stroll down memory lane and bore all our listeners and viewers until there's nobody left with self-involved stories of our past and the reason this podcast exists. So, Jordan, have you got around to any new music this week?
No, not really. I've been diving back into just like old shit. Like,
can you even see me right now? How many fingers am I holding up?
4, 2.
Look at this motherfucker's eyes right now.
Blow him back up, big screen. Blow him up, big screen.
Nah, get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh man,
dude,
your eyes. Yeah, you need fucking wenches, son. You need someone to come in there with fucking wenches and hold that shit open.
He is so fucking high. You're higher
than me. Shout out Animal Face. Shout out Animal Face.
That Animal Face fucking bud has got him on the food. Hey, let's just transition real quick. Shout outs to the winners for the highest episode of all time, Dropout Kings. Because we're
getting into the Hall of Fame a little early, but
we'll just jump into that now. The highest episode of all time is when we had Dropout Kings on. This might be number 2 right here though, because Jordan, I believe, is as high as the entire country
That's
of Canada.
right.
I'm
The
working on it,
entire
bro.
country
I
of
found
Canada.
me a new Jamie. It was a lot cheaper. His name's Jaime, and rolling a J right now. So
Oh
we're
no.
gonna
My
contend.
space monkey, my space monkey has me in space. If you can tell by my language.
Do I have to roll join now?
No, I think you're okay. Stay here
Does
for real quick.
anybody have any new music for this week? Because I have three.
Yeah, go shoot it.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, Jordan, you'll be able to appreciate this because I was shocked to find out one of the new releases this week was Onyx. East Coast rap group Onyx decided to release a new album. And I remember Onyx from the 90s. This album is tentatively called 1993. And it's perfect because that's what it sounds like from the minute you put it in. It's like 13 tracks worth. It's all like a retro kind of ode to what they are and they were and what they started. Onyx is known for that like grimy East Coast rap, and they kind of were like the first ones to do it. That yelling shit, like they were yelling on microphones before DMX, before Master P and all his No Limit crew. Onyx was loud, they were rough and rugged. The title track to this is called Rough and Rugged. It's a good album. I enjoy it. If you like Onyx, it's cool. And all these young cats who have no idea who Onyx is can take a stroll down memory lane, go find the old Onyx records, and then they realize why this record's still cool to this day because no one's making retro shit.
That's fair. I mean, we do get some hip hop artists that have like throwback styles. We've talked about Benny having a little bit of an East Coast style to a lot of his music.
I'm
and,
talking like a true throwback feel. Like, for
to the
instance,
90s
this album's
style.
called 93. There was an album that The Game did called 1994, which was the exact same style. The beats were trying to be like from a very Pacific era.
Yeah.
West Coast 94. The cool
So it
kids
would be a
who,
very Pacific era. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
The next act I'm gonna bring up, the cool kids did this before and had a
Shout out
retro
to
sounding EP and album like on purpose. They try to go for that. But the cool kids have like a double album that just dropped on streaming platforms. It's kind of weird to be a double album when it streams, but it's a lot of songs. It's called Before Shit Got Weird. And it's fucking dope. Okay, this is true backpack rap. The cool kids are like the most underrated duo of the past like 15 years. I mean, Brian, I discovered the cool kids back in like the Paid Dues Rock the Bells festival days with B, Bernard. Like we used to jam cool kids and shit. We hung out and watched them together at those festivals. Cool kids are still going strong and doing it. Did you also know that Cool Kids member Chuck English is cousins with Boldy James?
I did not know that. No.
Still
not featured on the album.
And you know what? Now you said new music. You said Boldy James. I do remember new music. Currency and the Alchemist dropped an album.
Talked about that
Boldy is
for the past
featured
2
on
weeks. Very solid
it. Missed
release.
it. The shit is solid. I just discovered that in the last like week. Shit is fire.
Yeah, it's really good. Like Currency just spits and just keeps going. But the beats are so goddamn good. Like it makes this is gonna be controversial. Alchemist beats are so good it even makes Earl's sweatshirt sound interesting. Sorry, everyone that sleeps on their mom's couch and stays on fucking 4chan all day.
No. That's valid. That's a fair point. And speaking of, me and Matt were talking about this, getting into like new music. So far this year, hip hop has taken the W in terms of releases. Metal and scene music, as far as we go, hasn't had shit. Hip hop has had Big Crit. You've had a EP release from Mick Jenkins. You had the new Earth Gang album. You had fucking The Currency and The Alchemist.
There's a new RZA album this
the new
week.
RZA fucking
King
album.
Vaughn, rest in peace.
King
just
Vaughn,
dropped
I
one.
was gonna
There
say, was the
already
one this
a Young
week that I
Dolph
listened to.
tribute album.
King Von I listened to this week. The Currency album fucking slaps. The new Earth Gang album is phenomenal. Like that album, Conway, yes, dude. Hip hop has definitely taken the W so far for the first quarter. I mean, we're coming up at the end of it. We're March 4th, March 3rd. We're about to get in March 4th. We're about to get into the beginning of the second quarter, and metal hasn't really had shit. We've had some depressing things out of our scene, boys, and it's kind of sucks. But I'm about what?
Bands breaking up mainly.
Did you hear about the reunion?
Which one?
I figured you would be all over this reunion. I figured you would be the first one talking about this. Are you done with your music? I don't want to jump ahead into news.
Well, it's funny you were saying rock and shit is not popping off right now because I did have one rock record. It's our boys in Cold Night for Alligators. We
Okay.
interviewed them. Their
Yes, we
original
did.
release date was supposed to be a month from today.
Mhm.
And it got pushed back. So it came out today. Awesome record. We've been jamming on it for a while. It's called the Hindsight Notes. It is like they're one of my favorite new acts, but this shit's like a atmospheric at times, but mostly an ambient trip to Prague town in Denmark because they're a Danish band. They're fucking cool. The singer's dope. I think if you like Swancore, I've said it before, you'll definitely like that band. So motherfuckers need to listen to them because every time I say this band name, no one's heard of them.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'll stay on the new music too. So I did listen to that album, and shout out to your interview that you did with them. That was while I was absent back in October, I believe. Everybody go check that out on the YouTube. That was a really good interview. So yeah, their album was good for rock, and I also listened to Belmont. I don't know if you've heard of Belmont or know anything about them. But they're from Chicago, Illinois. They're, I think, like a 4-piece band, and they're
If it's
like
not on the
this.
FIFA soundtrack, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, okay. And so they're this like jammy pop punk meets like gent band. It's really weird. But they had an album released today. Let me go back to it and see what it was called. Uh but yeah, it was really
Buchu.
good. This is a fucking trippy band though. It's not like your normal style pop punk. It's like pop punk, but it has a really progressive gent instrumental tracking to it. It's so weird. It's fucking the weirdest. You guys got to check it out just to listen to it. It's not like it's not the best, the lyrics are a little cliche. This kind of young. I think they're pretty young probably. Talking about a bunch of weird love shit and like sacrifice and being depressed at 23 and the world's going to end and yeah. But it is really good music. Catchy, not your standard pop punk, but it is pop punk and it's got this weird genty tracking to it that's just super offbeat, fun. You do have breakdowns, but it's not like everything breakdown, it's great. I like it. You guys should check it out. Belmont, Belmont. They're from Chicago. They've only been around like 5 or 6 years.
There was another release I forgot to mention. This came out last week. Brian, you'll know I was a huge super fan of Crystal Castles. But I also hate abusers. So I have a real hard time getting around that and listening to their music. They separated with their vocalist Alice Glass, and she made an EP called Pray For, like IV. Trigger warning, every song, all 13 songs on the record are about the alleged abuse she suffered at the hands of the other dude from Crystal Castles. I want to say his name's Chris Evans, but I think that's Captain America. The album's dope though. It's trippy like Crystal Castles was. The lyrics are fucking controversial and weird. She talks about being used and being preyed on and all this shit. It's bad. But the music's trippy. You can zone out to it. I dig that. So that was really interesting. It's cool to still see Alice Glass is still around. She also had that she had a sex doll made after her like years ago.
Get it.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Beanbone, why did you follow me on Twitter? Not complaining though. Hey, because I wanted you to tune into this podcast tonight. Not complaining though.
Skirt. Not complaining. So the reunion that I was talking about, as Jordan tries to open his eyes over here, the reunion that I was going to talk about is our boys and former alleged predators, Shaylee Burgo of Dayshell and Austin Carlisle are making music together again in their safe house bunker in Cuba, where they can't be extradited for their crimes against young women.
Fucking Cuba,
wherever they're at. I don't know, Puerto Rico. They're somewhere where they're not getting. Costa Rica, where they're not getting arrested.
Way down in Kokomo.
Way down in Coco, Mahana, hey, it's Tijuana, in Jamaica, but my balls, they are sweaty. Ooh, they are heavy.
2 peas in a pod, man. I hate both those motherfuckers, and I hope they both.
Way down in a Kokomo. That's where
with a fucking plunger just straight up his.
Way down in Coco. All
right,
anyways, and we're back. And we're back. So yeah, they announced that
Matt is not back yet.
he's not. I know, but I have to keep the show
Just
going,
fucking-
Jordan, or we're never, ever, ever gonna get picked up by a major network. So yes, former pedophiles, Austin Carlisle, and you know what? Nobody even cares about those two. So let's move on.
Go fuck
Did you see-
themselves.
Speaking of predatory behavior, did you see the Book of Nile released a statement regarding her removal from Make Them Suffer? You know what? I'm gonna go on record and say it again, boys. Not only did she fuck that baby, but I support her. You know, I support her 100%.
You support her sexually harassing
What?
people?
She didn't sexually. Okay, I don't. Did you read her statement?
I-
You talked to her
actually- okay,
firsthand.
so
I don't
You
even
talked
know
to her
anything about
firsthand.
this. What the fuck are you talking about?
I talked to her in the DMs, and
Yeah, you
and
did.
she
So,
she
and you're
had me
not?
convinced that this was a screw job on her. And it's weird for
Yeah.
me to one talk to an abuser and talk to a female abuser. So it's really confusing, the whole situation. It's all hearsay. I have no facts on it. I don't know anything about it, but what she told me.
The consensus, at least from what I've seen in the social media realm of the metal world, is they're upset at her for being conniving and responding to fans the way that she did. But as far as her being an abuser or some sort of predator, that's not the case. It was very consensual between the two. What was happening is they were fucking cheating. Plain and simple. She's a cheater.
She
She's an
sent me
adulterer. She's a
screenshots
fucking cheater.
to
And
prove that
homeboy,
what they did was consensual.
yeah,
But
yeah,
and
exactly.
also kind of painted the picture that this girl accusing Booka, her name is Madeline. She
Yeah.
previously accused a band
Mm.
before and
Yep,
had
serial
to
accuser.
and was legally forced to retract her statement because what she said was categorically false.
This is just throwing shade on Booker. And by the way, I'm not endorsing her cheating or being a conniving bitch because
I
she
can't
very
speak
well
for her
could be.
character at all.
Yeah, she very well could be some other crazy. But from what it looks like, her and this gentleman that she slept with were having consensual sex for months at a time, according to her, for months. And this particular situation that her and this girl were talking about
Yeah, no, it
was
consensual.
referring to them initiating this
I don't know.
sexually.
Who cares how good it was?
And it just so happened to be because one of them was cheating. But she's not in any way coming off as someone that preyed on anybody or was predatory or forced herself
Allegedly.
into a non-consensual situation.
She also
which is what we would
brought
be
up this point.
afraid
She
of.
said this is like a 6-foot dude, and like we use protection, and I'm supposed to have like raped him. Like, tell me like how that's supposed to work. And I was like, well, can't really paint that picture for you.
Should we be doing this or the whatever was in reserve for the friendship of the other person involved, which was this third
There's
party.
definitely a
somebody
reason
that
that
Booker
there's a
was
giant
dating.
black block over a paragraph to
Yeah,
remove
come on.
context.
Come on. Hey,
Like-
if anybody's flagging someone down for shit, it's this goddamn show right here.
Oh
folks,
yeah, if you
okay?
want a smoking
don't try
gun,
to
like
pull
you need
one
a
over on
smoking
us.
gun and a
And-
victim, bro.
And second hot take, you ready for my second one?
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Census Fail should have dropped that stupid fucking tour because they just jumped on with a tour with the Used and fucking Rise Against.
They're opening
So
like a
fuck
bunch
Bad
of
Omens.
fucking.
Fuck Bad Omens. No, I'm just kidding. Bad Omens album was great, by the way. Shout out to New Music for the week. Bad Omens had a good album.
Can I have a hot take? Can I have a
Yeah,
hot
go
take?
for it. Yeah, I want to
Bad
hear it because
Omens for 2022. Bad Omens, most overrated band so far.
listen,
They're not even like bad, but like for as much as Twitter
Yeah.
hypes them up, it's like, damn, you
They're
guys
very
want to
good.
be mainstream with a dose of heavy and put a breakdown on every song, but like which one are you good at?
Here's what it is. I just
Like,
saw them
when
with
does it get
Under Oath.
good?
No, it's all good. I just saw them with Under Oath and Spirit Box, and their shit is really, really good. They're very, very good live, very solid. They don't put on like the most sporadic show or the most entertaining stage presence wise, but they do put on a great sounding show. They're very solid. They perform all this shit phenomenal. They took this clear turn towards like a new metalcore style. They abandoned their heaviness, the breakdowns, the screaming, the majority of screaming anyways. They abandoned a lot of that. But I'll tell you what, they're doing it better than Memphis Mayfire is doing it. And second, they're actually distinctively different than a lot of that same sounding stuff in the scene. Now, from what I'm seeing, is this clear rift of people that either love it or want old Bad Omens back. But I can't say that I paid attention to old Bad Omens, but this new Bad Omens at least had me listening.
It's a thing. Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like the best. There's been a bunch of hype behind them though, and it's not like they're a bad band by any means. They are very good. It's just a different sound. It's not. I think it's not a very scene heavy sound. It is more along the lines of like a. You're gonna see them on probably like a Not Fest. I think you are gonna see them in a more like mainstream light probably.
They're a
I mean,
band, you know.
they're a band. They did get picked up by
They're a
fucking
band.
Under Oath, and they jumped on another tour right after. They've got another really big tour coming up after.
I heard that Under Oath tour was good, but I'm
It's
not
great.
going. I still
I know.
got beef with Aaron Gillespie.
Is that because you showed him here? He showed you his wang on Is Anyone Up?
No, out of all the male band dude dicks that I saw on Is Anyone Up, he was not one of them. But
That was
God,
one of the most surprising for me
do I
because that was
wish-
like 2010, and I was like, man, Aaron, you're really showing your wiener. This is
bro,
where we're at right now.
You
You're
know
doing Under
whose
Oath.
wiener I wish I never saw?
Who's the dude from
Adam-
Russian Nose?
Yeah, Adam Warren.
Yep. You talking about that hammer? You talking about his fucking his third knee up leg that he's got? His
It
third
was
leg
hard to
that
like, cause I toured with them. Like they were on All Stars, and it was hard to just think about that fucking meat
Not
swing.
only-
Like, oh my god, dude.
not only is Adam a gigantic human being,
a former
gigantic
amateur wrestler, dude.
human being
Like,
and
he
a
will
fucking
maul you.
weightlifter. He lifts like a motherfucker, and he has got a fucking wiener on him. His wiener,
God, a hog, a big ass honker, dude. It's
gigantic.
not all right. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Oh man, is anyone up? Listen,
I didn't
shout
think
outs
we'd
to
be
Shannon.
talking about cocks
Shout
on
outs to
this show.
Shannon Moore for fucking taking a big L, but a W
Shannon
for
Moore?
everybody.
That's a wrestler. It was Hunter Moore.
Or Hunter Moore, yeah, my bad. Shout out to Hunter Moore for taking a huge L and going to jail for outing everybody's wiener and pussy in the scene. But you know what? Listen,
He hella
thank you,
went
man.
to federal prison, but it wasn't because of
Thank
that.
you.
He always kept the site clean, bro. He profited off the site.
Thank you. I mean, what do you mean he kept the site clean? He had everyone's wiener posted. What are you talking about?
He never posted minors, so the site never
Well,
got shut down. Bullyville
yeah.
bought the site for like $12 million, and then he got busted like a year or so later for like hacking someone's bank account, which is super illegal.
But he faced so much backlash for fucking
Oh,
posting
public
everybody's nudes.
backlash, yeah. But
Yeah,
he
well,
also had,
legal
like,
too.
a cult-
People went
He
after
also
him.
has a cult following. Like that guy opened a Facebook group, and like people were so dedicated to him and the viralness of the shit that they
Yeah.
were like doing anything they were told. There was someone in there jacked off and fried their own cum and ate it.
I don't know if that's true, and why would you even say those
I
words?
know it's true because
Why
I
would
had to
you say
fucking
that
see it on
sentence?
my feed.
Why would you say that sentence? That's a sentence that should have never
Aaron
been
blew
said.
me off at a screening for a documentary they did for Erase Me, and it bummed me out for a while.
Yeah, never meet your fucking your favorite artist. What up? Well, shout out Xavier. What's up, man? I hope you're
Yeah,
doing well.
shout out Xavier.
I need to connect with you, my guy.
It's bumming you out.
Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, no, that's some real shit, dude. Aaron Gillespie bummed me out too. I want to open up this Hall of Fame, dude. Okay, it's 100 episodes. We need to do something special, and from here on out, we can induct people and moments, and I don't know, whatever the fuck we want. If we have like a fucking like, how many cats have been on this show total? Like 6 or 7. We can induct one of those cats in the Hall of Fame if we want. We'll have one. You know what? Have one of the interns go back and watch all the episodes with cats. Figure that out. But from here on out, we are opening a Hall of Fame. Okay, it's going to be special. It's really not. There's no Tinker
every 100 episodes.
Parade. Yeah, every 100 episodes. No. We could really do it whenever, as long as something's like meaningful, I guess. But this is the opening of it to commemorate doing 100 goddamn episodes of like breaking bands and wacky moments and talking shit and good episodes and bad ones.
Hey.
I want to start this off with the worst moment in 100 episodes. Hands down, the worst moment I can think of is when Brian said that chick looked like a dude. That was one of the worst. That was so awkward. Brian said he made some inappropriate joke about how this chick looked like a dude, and then I had to quickly move on like I didn't hear it. You can go back and listen to it. It was bad.
Are you roasting me about calling that chick a dude? Because my shit went out. And I didn't hear anything for like the last 30 seconds, but I'm back now. And hey,
both of what
listen,
she said was true.
shout out to Homegirl and sharing her world a secret. That's not how I intended for it to sound. I'm be honest. In the moment, I do kind of realize how it came off, but I apologize. You know, I
You
meant no
realize
harm
how
by
it came off? You mean the way it came off was the way it exactly sounded?
I didn't intend for that. I didn't. It's one of those moments where I didn't think before I spoke. You know.
Predictions for the pay-per-view tomorrow. The pay-per-view is on Sunday, actually, I think.
The
Revolution.
pay-per-view is on
No,
Saturday.
he's talking
UFC,
about,
sir.
no one
Covington
cares
and
about that.
Masvidal.
Covington, Masvidal, Jorge,
Who cares
baby,
about
Game
that?
Bread, let's go.
He's talking about AEW Revolution on Sunday, dude.
I'm gonna have to go. You know, I love me, both of them. I'm about the shtick. That press conference was so gross, though.
Dude, motherfucker.
Just talk shit the whole time.
I know it was stupid. It was so stupid. Anyways,
It's gonna be the whole time.
I
Sorry
think
to
Colby.
that chick from that band for saying that thing.
Yeah, sorry for saying that thing. I think Colby. I think it's gonna be a good fight. That's all I'll say. Anyways, Chernobyl the
Colby
secret.
Covington's a racist.
I'm sorry. No, he's not. It's a shtick. Stop.
He is.
Stop.
No, I think he's paid to be a racist. That's even
Stop,
worse.
Guys. Stop, guys. Wrestling's not real either.
Shut the fuck. Okay, that's definitely a boot. We should go over best moments because we've had some peaks and some valleys. What were the best moments we've had on the show?
Real quick, can I also add to one of the worst moments? We don't vet our guests very well, or we didn't in the early on. That was.
I mean, how much can I possibly vet a dude who's popular on TikTok? He didn't have a fucking agent.
I mean, listen.
How was I supposed to know that the cute K-pop band wasn't going to get popular after we interviewed them?
Out of the first 10 guests we had, a couple of them were some hot misses. Okay, listen. A Predator is one of them. Who knows what the second one was? The second one could be all of the above for all we know. Who knows? Point is, we just
long before I was around here.
We've gotten yeah. With Jordan came a lot of heightened responsibility, and that was getting guest vetted because we had to make sure we can't just be having anybody. Can't just be bringing anybody from Canada on. You know, our boys in fucking
of heart.
Of heart are just we can't just bring any boisterous, outlandish people on here.
Yeah, we do a better job of that now. We get some higher quality people. Better moments on the show, some of the best moments.
Let's get it.
Definitely not last week. Is it the entire Foxera laugh down? That whole giggling episode with long sandwiches?
Yes.
Just that whole episode was like
went off the rails immediately.
I don't know. It was like a roller coaster. It was like a really fun roller coaster. Like it was just out of control, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I thought the best way I could ever explain it.
Yeah. It was like a good
and everybody
time.
Played their own unique part.
Yeah. It was just a good time. It was like we were a bunch of friends. We hadn't seen each other in a long time.
It didn't really feel. Yeah, it didn't really feel like interviewing. It felt like
openly nervous. They were openly nervous because they hadn't played any shows. They were getting ready for their first couple ones. This was like their first real going on interview, and they were just like, "Hey, we're just gonna be in here and have a good time." We ended up talking about long sandwiches, which are our favorite, clearly. I think we talked about some butthole a little bit.
We tried to make friends with Michael because he's in Austin, and we totally failed at that. Okay, so far we have only managed to make one legit friend out of the show, and that was Rickshaw, which I kind of already knew previously, but there's been a couple people we met that are nearby, and it just hasn't worked out. Or I don't know, people come through on tour.
I've talked to both the rain check guy and Micah through Instagram every now and then. It's like a what up, or I see a story that they're doing or something. Or
the Undertaking are coming through, and I'm pretty sure I can't get off work to go see them.
When? What date?
They were a great episode too. Like Austin, that was a great interview as well.
The Undertaking has been involved in some great moments.
They are definitely in contention for best guests. There's some good moments with them. They're good people. There's also the she fucked that baby moment was pretty good from 2 weeks ago.
That
might be an all-time classic.
God.
Yeah.
That was out of control.
Yeah, it was. It was a good one though. It was a good episode for sure.
All right, so I think it's only fair to induct the entire Foxera laugh down
Yeah.
into the Hall of Fame. We'll
I
definitely
think
put
so.
that in there.
Yeah.
I definitely want to put you calling that chick a dude, saying she looks like a dude, into the Hall of Fame because that's
Okay.
definitely talked about.
All right.
Highest episode of all time. We all agree. Dropout
With-
Kings episode.
With the Dropout Kings, yep.
All right.
Although
So
I
we'll
do feel
definitely-
like Homeboy from Skaggs. I do feel like he definitely came in a hard second for the highest of all time.
he was
because
so
he
high.
was
I
real
felt
high.
like he made himself awkward.
And I'm almost
Because
positive.
I've never been that like put off by him before. And then he turned on the mic and it was like, are we talking to a stranger? It's like, dude, I know you.
Yeah, and he was also, if I'm not mistaken, conducting the interview from inside his grow room. If I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea. I'll go
but-
back and watch it. But like, yeah, for the
actually
Hall of
spoke,
Fame Stony Baloney wing, we're definitely inducting the Dropout Kings episode. And anytime like we're really, really stoned and my eyes are smaller than this.
Also, shout out to Matt Claiborne, our good friend who's been on the episode twice. Once as Matt Claiborne, his real name, and then second his pseudonym Matt Davin.
He
First
only
guest to do
guest to
that. First
appear.
guest to do that.
Yeah, the only guest to ever appear under two different names. That's
Mhm.
pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yep. Shout out
the
to
most-
Mikey Sawyer for being the first person that we've ever canceled too. Way to go, man.
Yeah. First, definitely won't be the last. Working on a few others. Got a couple in the chamber. You never look.
couple in the
Look,
chamber.
I'm not saying I'm actively working on this, but one day there's gonna be a bad fentanyl overdose, and like I'm just gonna leak all sorts of information about Franz and his.
Wow. What? What is
What
this?
the
Franz and
fuck?
what? What is this? His pregnant what? What are you doing?
On a fucking tour bus
Whoa.
with a god.
Okay, I don't even know what's going on.
I swear,
don't know
all
what's
in
going
all
on.
in the
What
whole
happened?
Attila train, all of it, dude. One day, it's just I feel
One
like
whole
it's just
train,
gonna,
all of them,
it's
into
just
one.
gonna be like a foul ball. I'm gonna catch it and get the final out in the World Series. It's just gonna be done for them. Anyways, most forgettable episodes. Okay, so like when I went back to find some moments and shit that I liked and remembered, there was also a bunch of shit I don't remember. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember interviewing certain bands, or I don't remember shit that we asked, or I don't remember. Like I looked at one of the band interviews and I was like, I can't tell you a single thing I asked them. Like I can't think of one. And then I look at other ones and I'm like, damn, like this band went fucking nowhere after we interviewed them. Like nothing happened. Like that happened to a few of them. So most forgettable episodes. Last week's Kill the Lights, I'm Abomination. Any
Yeah,
Christmas
Kill the Lights
episode,
was a good one.
even if it was good, it was just like there and gone the next week. Any Christmas episode we've done is kind of Sleepwaker. I don't know what they are. JJ Claxton, that was just a failed experiment altogether. I don't know which one I want to induct into the Hall of Fame, but those definitely
I do want to
nominees.
say that we fucking had Settle the Sky on, which was pretty dope because they came in. I want to say that was the first guest where we had on where they were kind of hot. They came in kind of hot, and I think it was because of the initial Attack episode where we all called out Settle the Sky for being like secondary, and they were on that Twitter beef for like a second, and then they hit us up and they were like, "Yo, what's up?" And we were like, "All right, come on the show, let's talk about it." And then they were like, at the end, they were like, "No, you guys are cool. No, it's cool." And we were like, "Yeah, you guys are cool. We're cool." Like we squashed beef on air with
We
Settle the Sky.
good?
That was pretty dope. Yeah. No, us and Settle the Sky, we go deep.
Good.
They had my best EP last year. Yeah. We go deep.
That's crazy.
Hey.
I didn't know they're still doing it. Wetzel had a bunch of shit to talk about them.
Wow.
Wow.
So someone also said like I said who do you think is the worst guest, and they said all the guests that bailed, and I was like, oh man, that's like a whole list on its own of like guests that bailed and the fashion they did. There was my homeboy Barry who didn't come on. He agreed for 3 straight weeks to come on. He didn't do it. There was
And
Daniel
we've worked very close with Barry in the past, too,
Bro,
on some very
yeah.
big projects, and for him to just completely slide out on us.
Barry
was-
told me I could have inked some shit with Sirius XM that was gonna go down. I'm like, okay, I'm listening, and then nothing ever happened. I'm like, damn it, Barry. But he was supposed to come on for like 3 weeks. That didn't happen. We were supposed to have Daniel Tapia from One Shot Thrill, Never Ends, whatever the hell he's doing now. And
formerly of Here Comes the Chaos.
And like for 2 weeks he agreed to it, and then when he like blew me off, it was like after we had already got off the air. It was like, damn, thanks for letting me know. No, but the ones I think were the worst was like, okay, the first time we tried to have Varsity on, he just didn't. He like no called, no showed, and like his management was like, oops.
We were like the grooms waiting at the altar for the bride to show. We were just like,
And the
all
bride
right.
was Joey, and she never showed. Yeah.
Yep.
But the one I'm gonna nominate because this infuriated me, and it actually burned a connection we had across the pond with a British PR agency. This rapper, this female rapper, Pony Capri. She was supposed to come on. I was stoked to have like first off a female rapper together. Like it was gonna be dope. She blew us off. Then when I get a hold of her, she had no idea it was a video interview. She didn't read the email I sent her or the instructions on how to do any of this. She heard the word podcast and just thought audio. So she like, I guess by the way she put it, you could tell she didn't have her makeup or her face or her look on, because she was like, I'm not prepared for that. And it's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to reschedule. And then when she wanted to reschedule, she wanted to do it so it wasn't live. And like even if we don't do a live show and it's pre-recorded, it's still live in the sense that we don't do any post-production. So we're just like, hey, don't fuck up. What do I always tell you, Brian? Don't say the N-word.
Yeah.
You're gonna fuck up. Like, we're not editing this shit, okay? So it's gonna be like, oh, it's in the tape, it's going out live, boom, it's gone. And so she was trying to make all these negotiations. It's like, why did you agree to the interview in this format, and then you don't know how and you're not gonna do it? So I'm putting that in the Hall of Fame as like the best, worst fucking guest bailout. Because that pissed me off, and like her PR person like was burned by it and never got back to us or gave us any more artists.
I mean, makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, so shouts to him, corny ass little white dude from England. You know how many beefs I have with corny ass little white dudes from England? Like enough to know that I fucking hate the like Burnley and Derby soccer clubs. Okay, I know that much. And fuck Leicester City. I'll burn the bitch to the mother. SG
man.
Lewis still owes me fucking money and an apology.
Okay.
God, these motherfuckers.
Hey, going down memory lane, I got one for a guest who I believe definitely deserves to be inducted. She's been through enough. Shout out to Katarina.
Katarina.
What's her last name?
Jongword.
Junglewood. That's right. Katarina Junglewood. Shout outs to her and for being inducted into our Hall of Fame. The only reason I say that is because I remember how hilarious the Nobody Out Pizzas the Hut episode was. And it was us three and her, and we were just ripping about our favorite types of porn to watch. Remember?
Yeah.
we were talking about our favorite type of porno to watch. We were also talking about, someone talked about pooping and like
Space talking?
space docking. Oh, we did talk about docking. Yeah, we did talk about docking. That's right.
We usually talk about docking.
Yeah, we talked about wiener docking. Yeah, because that's right. She's into some weird shit. Didn't she say she was into like fucking like melon squishing or something? Doesn't she like it when people squish melons between their thighs? She's into weird shit. She's into. Shout out to Katarina.
Man, I
She's
can't
into
wait
weird
for her to
things.
listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
I'm
Katarina.
pretty sure we just misquoted her and defecated all over her name. Whatever.
Wow.
We did forgettable episodes. We did
It's
best
terrible.
moments, highest moments.
Sorry for.
Sorry for. I'm so sorry.
Still, no one slipped up and said the N-word yet. We're allowed to swear otherwise. I don't think. You know what? We did have an R-word slur slip up a couple times. That
I say
happened.
retard all the time.
Oh, god damn it, dude. Get the motherfucker.
Dude,
I'd rather you insult the fucking Catholics than the Tards, dude. I'm gonna get a fucking email over this.
come on.
A Catholic retard. He wants me to say Catholic retard.
That's not what I said. Son of a. I gotta.
Can't fucking take you guys nowhere.
Man. Catchphrase Hall of Fame. Clean your grease trap. I still don't know what that means, and I've never ever repeated it on the show.
Let's go, cuz.
No, what
Clean
does
your
it mean?
grease
Like,
traps,
keep your shit up to
cuz.
date, clean your shit. That is not the new Push and P.
What did we? I don't know. We were talking about something, and I was just like, "Yo,
I
clean your
don't
grease
re-
trap, son.
What
Clean
episode
it,
was that?
dude."
The Fox Terror episode?
Yeah, I think so. Clean your grease
Madness.
trap.
I
Clean your
can't. It
grease
was
trap,
Whatever
son.
episode it was called Clean Your Grease Trap.
Clean your grease trap.
Oh yeah. It wasn't.
So really, like, unless we do these shows, you guys don't remember anything about the past episodes.
No, yeah, I just told you. I told you I wanted to do a friendly fire award because we talked so much shit about things that weren't supposed to be talked shit about, like Kentucky.
I've only been on like a few of them.
What are you talking about, bro? You're an official member of the podcast.
Yeah, but I've still only been on like a few of them.
Yeah,
Like,
if you stack,
I got in on the slate.
If this was around the horn, you have way more appearances than Justin Jack or Justin Case or The Undertaking or Wetzel or Mikey Slayer's mugshot.
Around the horn, this is fucking Stony Reality over here.
Dude, oh my god!
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
That was a good one. I remember bring that one back from an episode.
Shout out to you, Jordan, for being a part of 2 wrestling episodes and not having shit to talk about either. You didn't say shit in either of those episodes.
That was so awkward.
I was like, dude, we're doing a
I
book
just
report, and
I just wanted to be. I'm showing
book.
up. I'm showing up.
We're at a book club, and Jordan clearly didn't read the fucking book. Didn't read any of the books. Has never read the books. It's like, dude, you're in the Oprah book club. You don't even watch Oprah or read.
He's like, yeah, no, I like the part where...
I'm strictly there to smoke weed and banter. That's it. Like
background noise,
like jazz.
Matt, hit the fucking background music.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't need you to fucking do that.
He changed his name to Stony Reality.
Yeah.
This is like singing around the horn if you think about it. We don't like debate.
We could just have this going the whole time if you want. I could loop it.
Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jive Hour with
I
Brian,
swear I will
Matt,
you. That's
and
bordering on
Jordan.
racism.
We are here.
Okay, culture vulture. Yo.
We're here to get queer.
Okay,
God.
all right.
Lord.
Okay.
We're retards and we're hard.
I swear to God, dude, how many of those are you gonna bust out? It's been you every time. I have to pay $600 every time you fucking say it.
Don't raise that flag because we're...
Oh no! I can't afford that fine. No, don't do that one. No. Ooh. Okay. All right. Let's just end all of that. All of that's bad. Oh my god. All right, let's try it again. Let's do a different song. They're all bad. They're all real bad.
We could do like some group mushroom meditation or something with this shit. What the fuck was that? Boom. Did you hear that?
What is this anyway?
I just imagine like not even a Full Sail student, but whatever the cheap version is to Full Sail, like student made this. It's not even good background music.
Brian's not even on tempo.
Yeah, I am. What are you talking about, dog?
I think there's a delay.
Oh, maybe. In my ears I was, for sure. I don't know how to keep count. I've never been in a band before. What is this?
I was about to say. I didn't know about the delay. My apologies.
All right, so before we finalize...
Okay, Putin. Okay.
Before we finalize...
Whoa! We'll talk about him around here.
You can't actually make that joke anymore.
My apologies.
Brian, what does your shirt say? You count your money, I'll count my friends. That's fucking stupid. Who is that? We'll see who's richer in the end. Memphis fucking...
Memphis May mute fire.
Fucking Mayfair. Memphis Mayfair. I don't even know. That's a fairly recent shirt. I'm not gonna forgive you for buying that.
It's not. It's literally.
It's not
their
as
second
cool as
album.
rocking the fucking Boldy James
It's their second
Bo
album. son.
Jackson championship ring shirt with the hat. Ho. Worst guest. We all collectively agree. Jordan, you don't actually know this story, so you're in for a treat. Brian, we all agree. Joey
Episode
Ruthless,
7.
Ruthless Vault.
Yep.
It was episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go back and watch it. Tell us if you got any indication that that guy was a can we call it what's pedophile, right? Because he's like 19, I think, and when he did it, and the girl's like in high school. So that's yeah, you're bad. Anyways, here's what I was shown. The Arizona Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force executed a search warrant on Tuesday at the East McKellips Road home of 19-year-old Joey Mata. Admitted to authorities that he owned a Dropbox account that contained multiple photos of naked children participating in sexual activities. The record stated, sexual exploitation of minors. So that was crazy. Someone actually
What?
saw the
That was
interview
legit like
and
3
sent
months
that to
after
us.
our shit. Yeah.
What this 19-year-old kid was a TikTok guy. I wouldn't say he was a sensation or huge. He just had a couple, 100,000 followers, and he would do like top 5 breakdowns, top 5 call outs before a breakdown. And he seemed like, because he was always smiling and laughing, he seemed like a fun-loving dude, like just some kid who hadn't been touched or tapped for interviews, and like maybe he would have been a diamond in the rough, someone I could have found that would have been so interesting. I could have had him on multiple times and he could have been like, something, but he wasn't. He was like nervous and weird. He didn't have much to offer in the terms of like an interview. And like, we had to like drag content out of him really. And so it was just like, okay, cool. And we never got any sort of indication like that from him, even with all the inappropriate jokes we made to him, like off air. Like, we still didn't get
He
like,
was chill.
yeah, he seemed normal. Like, he didn't want to do bad shit at all. So it caught me like off guard. But yeah, someone sent me that like a few weeks after we interviewed him. So I'm like, okay, well, that was definitely the worst guest. That guy sucks. So that happened. So that's getting inducted. Worst guest. I don't know who's the best guest.
I mean, we got a lot of them. I think Joanna the Joanna the couple times she was on. I think that obviously Rickshaw the couple times. I mean, Jordan went from being a guest to a fucking member of the show. So shout out to Jordan.
Joanna?
Yeah, or Katarina. Sorry. Wrong.
Yeah, you're high. Dude, what up, Beeb, aka Bernard Morris, my boy?
Yo, Bernard,
Congratulations on
what
100.
up?
Yo, trip down memory lane, okay? Let me take the big camera. Back when this podcast was in its infancy, like just an itty bitty embryo, like conception starts at life starts at conception, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, back when the podcast was starting in like 2007, B was our initial investor and like sent us like he was crucial in a lot of shit at Audio Overload happening. He provided like the budget for that day as far as getting all those prices for the raffle. We had a skateboard we auctioned off in a past episode. I showed you pictures of it. I think I told the story about Audio Overload before, so I'm not going to get it all into that. But that like festival was crucial in the fact that like me, Brian, our old friends and band were like a team on this unit. We all came together for like my podcast, something I had like thought of, and it all worked together, and we got more involved. And for that whole time that we were in a band and cool with each other, like you were heavily involved in the podcast, you kicked me out the band, and we were beefing again. And then when the podcast came back, pandemic and everything, and we were finally able to do it on a full-time like regular basis, because as popular as the podcast was in 2008 and 9, with big time like Devil Wears Prada, Under Oath interviews and shit, we never did a ton of episodes or had consistency. It was a podcast where it was
also
released
MySpace and different formats.
It was a completely different time. And I want to say, honestly, it was the first of its kind. Okay. But it's so old that it's like that shit's not available online. We will bring out the retro episodes, and we're talking like old OG Attack interviews, Kurt Travis, Dance Gavin Dance era interviews, The Johnny Craig Band interview is still on YouTube if you want to go find it. Like, I mean, we have plenty of time to release retro shit, but in total, there were 23 episodes of the original Scene Radio, and it died in 2009. It was finito. Like, we had a plan to go to internet radio, and it was poorly planned, and I poorly executed it, and it didn't happen the way we wanted it. And in waiting for that, and then in the failure of that, and then in my entire life failure and relocating, the whole thing went to shit. And so Scene Radio died. Like 2010 for sure, it was dead in the ground. My band was done. Me dating that chick was done. Everything fell apart. But B helped us out tremendously back then. So that shit was crazy. Just a long time ago. Like, we've been at this for a while. That's why there's old band interviews on the YouTube channel. That's why there's a separate YouTube channel with even older band interviews with like Breathe Carolina and Johnny Craig. And it's just, we've been at this forever. Too long. So shouts to everyone that's like knows that story or has been down from day one. I mean, like, yeah, that's our credibility in this. We've been doing it for a long time, and like, we haven't been paid from the day that it started as a website. iHateTheScene.com in 2007 started. The first article was about like the formation of the band Fun. That was the first ever post. I didn't even make the post. I think it was copy and pasted. Eric Wolf made it. You remember Eric Wolf, strictlyrock.com. We met that dude and we're working with him. I stole him from that, and he was so good and ahead of his time, dude. He put our website on a server that was at a dispensary. And so for about 3 years, the website was going, and I never paid hosting fees, and it was unlimited. Like, it was unlimited bandwidth, storage, everything. We just kept uploading full podcasts, no matter how long they were. Like the Vanna podcast, it had to be split
like 4 hours
because it was so drunken and high and long. You know, and we put that shit up. I mean, it was just crazy that like that shit existed. And now the way podcasts are and the way it's so hard to get noticed and get any traction and get anything to go viral is so difficult. Like, honestly, some of the bands I interviewed back then like could not get them now, and some of the best interviews I did then are bands that are broken up now. So it's just crazy how like shit changes. But I've been interviewing bands for the like the past 15 years. Before that, I was interviewing athletes. I mean, like Antonio Cromartie, football players. Like, I'm supposed to interview Mario Lemieux, and that fell through, but that would have been cool. But
that would have been cool.
Interviewed Tony Hawk, interviewed NASCAR drivers, dude. Like, we've been at this for a long ass time. I mean, we've been educated on the scene as far as like backstage, going to shows, experiences. The hearsay and the gossip has always been like a big part of like content and like shit to talk about on the show. And like my touring life and the people I know and the shit that I've done has always played a big part to that. I think when we finally get to launch the Patreon and get to tell like the nastiest, juiciest, dirtiest, like will get me fucking in trouble stories, like behind a paywall security, like safety net, I think that's when people really be like, wow, like these guys know some shit. But hold on, let me grab something. Fornicate or ramble amongst yourselves for
Jordan, I love you, man. I'm never gonna fornicate with you, but I do love you.
Okay.
Hey, I'm glad that we get to do this every Friday night, man. I'm glad that you're a part of it. I'm glad that you're here doing it.
I'm so glad I didn't come back to just pure silence.
Shout out to you mentioned Vanna, old school interview. Shout out to In Spirit, who, I mean, we got yeah, of course, man. We got homeboys from formerly of Vanna, now In Spirit, to come on our show, episode 37, I think, 47 maybe. And they were in Boston, Rhode Island. They were all over the place. We got all of them in under one roof. We also had Crimson Apple under one roof. They all came in and did a fucking podcast with us. That was an all-girl group. Was the first time getting fucking some chicks up in this place.
It's so hard to get girls. It's been a sausage fest. It's so hard to get girls.
Every now and then we get a mixed party. Every now and then we get a mixed crowd. We've had
bands like log in from different locations, like Kill the Lights, of that. They like every member was logging in from like different places. That was fun. Brian, tell me if I've done this before. Have I ever dropped my bona fides on the show?
Bona fide?
my laminates. I've never dropped these on the show. Like this, this is my credibility right here, is doing all these motherfuckers. I never get to whip these out or show anyone that matters. But all these goddamn tours that I've done, the times that I've logged in, the shit that I've seen, the way that I've watched the fucking industry from the outside looking in for years. I mean, shit, we got perspective. We got credibility. We got years into this shit. I've done nothing but pour money and sweat and tears and effort and cum into this show. Lots of fucking liquor, weed to prep for it. Busted my thumbs and thumbnails typing into my notepads on my iPhone trying to come up with show ideas. And we still got a bunch more coming.
Yeah.
Like we're finally going to start doing... We're finally going to start doing like more nostalgic shit. We're going to do the retro band interviews. Okay. So it's really hard to find like our favoritist bands that broke up that don't want to talk about the shit. So like we're still looking for Drop Dead Gorgeous, but we have some other bands in the works that can come on and talk about the shit. Not going to just give it away now, but look for that. We're going to continue to bring you new bands like we always do and try to break artists on the show. And occasionally we'll bring you some bigger acts. Like, one I wanted to nominate for Best Guest because he didn't seem that enthused. And then at the end of it, seemed like he was cool with us. Frankie Palmieri from Amur. The fact that we landed him on the show, we kind of didn't deserve him. We weren't really big enough at all to land him. His PR people would have told me to fuck off, but he was cool. And even after the show, he told me, like, if you guys ever need anything, hit me up, which we never did because it kind of scares me, but he was a cool dude.
Frankie was legit.
Scares me.
Frankie was legit. He had a shit ton of knowledge, and so was Casey Sable. Casey Sable was fucking super legit.
Really cool, really, probably the most interesting dude.
Definitely one of the smartest musicians that I think we've probably ever talked to be honest. And we've talked to hundreds and hundreds. And he was so fucking smart about everything, about the theory of shit, theory of music, theory of philosophy, very philosophical, very smart, always on Facebook, bringing up super interesting topics, hitting dunces all the fucking time. Casey was a trip.
2017, I spent my summer with Revolution and Collie Buds.
Hey.
Yo, so people don't believe this. Ghost. I did the Ghost tour. I was on the Black to the Future, the first leg, because they did a second leg of it in America too. That was fucking weird. Here, yo, Jordan, this is yours. Avion Row at Danger Kids.
Hey.
I was not on this tour. I took this from you.
What?
Yeah, I took it from one of you guys. And I'll tell you the day I took it, May 11th, because you guys played the piece of shit Corova that's closed down now in San Antonio.
You took my laminate?
Yeah, and the tour I did with Danger Kids.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I hella took your laminate. Treasure Fest.
You didn't even get it.
I don't know, dude, but I know I wasn't on that tour. Look at all these fucking bands of this stupid LA
There's
Fest.
no way that was my laminate. I might have just gave you one if we had an extra one, but because I have all my laminates. There's only one laminate of mine that I don't have, and it's because I gave it to a friend to use to
I got a
get
bunch
in
of South by Southwest.
It was for South by So What?
I got a bunch of South by Southwest shit. Yeah, New England Metal Hardcore Festival, Artery Showcase, all that shit. Yeah, and then the last one I got off of, good old Bumpin' Uggs.
Ooh.
Hopefully, if everything works out, I'll get another one of those in October.
Hey.
Who do we have for best guest? Who can we collectively agree on to induct in this Hall of Fame for a best guest?
I mean, we've gone through so many. We already talked about so fucking many.
All right, so just induct them all.
Nappy High. Nappy High was great.
Nappy High and Memnock,
great.
both awesome. Trying to find
Memnock was also great. Memnock was also great. Mood Ring was great. Mood Ring was great, and they were a band that was fucking really new and interesting that we didn't know a whole lot about.
Yeah, and they're actually still around and going to do a new album, so we have an excuse to bring them back. So that was fun. Well, just induct all those guys into the guest wing. The guest wing just has like hotel linens and shit on the bed.
Earth Groans was for sure fucking killer.
Yeah. All the solid state bands. Earth Groans, Empty, Lightworker, The Undertaking.
Yeah, Empty was dope.
The In Search of Solace band, that was a good interview.
Yeah, it was a great episode as well.
Jordan was there for that. So we filled out our Stony Baloney wing. We filled out our fucking shit show failure wing. We did Forgettable. We did the best wing with best guests and best moments. We got a guest wing, but the main Hall of Fame wing that's gonna have like the busts and like the face and everything. There's only room for one inductee this year, and I need to induct this duo that's been just vital to the show. I mean, honestly, without them, there wouldn't be a fucking show. Let's be real, Brian. We owe everything at Boney Meowly. I love you. We owe everything in our lives to these two guys. But the first inductees into the I Hate the Scene Hall of Fame are Jordan. Brian, give me a drum roll. Give me a drum roll. Someone, give me a drum roll. Give me something good. I don't have the fucking music. We couldn't afford the music. They gave me fucking shit music. Us! It's us, motherfucker! Who else would it be? It's us! It's me and Brian, dude! Duh! It's so obvious! Oh my god! It's me and him! Like, duh! Like, without us, there wouldn't be a show. Like, if Brian didn't come to me and say, like, dude, let's start this podcast, and the first 3 times we did it totally sucked a dick, then we wouldn't have this show, dude! It's
what the fuck
fucking
you
us!
think
Like,
this is?
you
think this is a fucking game? You think this is a fucking game? This is your boy Stony Reality and your boy Boney Meowly telling you what's up. This isn't a game, boy. This isn't a game, all right? This
ain't
real.
Nintendo, son.
This
ain't
is
a
real
Game
life,
Boy.
son.
Son, my shoes are tied. I ain't tripping. Like,
We ain't tripping, dog.
Brian, am I standing on an Xbox right now? Because I feel like I'm on top of my game.
He ain't tripping. He ain't tripping. What are you talking about? What are you
Tag
talking
team
about?
champions of the scene, bitch. That's
Damn, y'all.
Yo,
and
if
you
my
know I'm
truck-
seen because I have the from first to last poster with a periphery poster above it.
Yo, if my truck's in her yard, you know I'm going hard, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And if your stepmom buys Applebee's, then you know I'm gonna crucify her ass to the.
Sheesh.
What?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said any of that. No, I know. I should have said Red Lobster. I don't know why I said out. I don't even like Applebee's. I know. I'm sorry. Whatever.
Oh, he's fired. They fired him. They fired him because he said fucking Applebee's. He wasn't supposed to say Applebee's. No, he wasn't supposed to say Applebee's.
So we're the first inductees in the Hall of Fame. Look, I'd love to induct plenty of other people, but it's going to take somebody like, I don't know, like falling out their chair or like really just like Justin Jack. Okay, we're going to have like a whole Justin Jack wing, and it's just going to be moments of him, okay? Because we need to have more of him on.
The Justin Jack wing? That's what we're really going to have, the Justin Jack wing?
Yeah, it's going to be the Jack wing.
Yeah, the Jack
wing.
wing.
I feel like while we have him here, we might as well just let's just go ahead and induct Jordan into the Hall of Fame. Jordan, you know, you've been with us for like you started out as a guest. We talked about this fucking broken up band that's like not doing shit that got ripped off in an NFT scam that you didn't see any money from. We never really have anything to promote for you, but I love you unconditionally. You made my summer 16 great, and you help us out tremendously with content. And
Jordan's the newest member of the NWO. Look at this. He just came out.
The
biggest ovation of all time.
And multicolored tassels.
He's the newest member of the NWO in the 1997 straight to video game console.
That's what's up. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Happy to be here. This shit's fun as hell. Even if I do just be getting just showing up high as fuck. I'm at least good for that.
We ended up on so many wrestling episodes, to be honest with you.
I told Jordan, thank you for hanging in there for those wrestling episodes and not saying shit.
Yeah, I just want to be there. Hang out.
Jordan definitely gets the attendance award. Like, he was there.
For sure. Yeah, Justin Jack has to be held back a grade because he missed so many episodes.
Oh my god. Don't tell him that. I'm trying to get into this music, but it's hard.
You have to delay the Jackwing construction for like a year.
What if we did the whole show with this music playing?
Be very distracting.
We would definitely chart on the adult contemporary charts.
Like, no, we turned the whole show into a cipher. Yo, and then Kanye bought the house across from Kim. That'd be so difficult. It's like, man, what the fuck rhymes with Pete Davidson? Or it's like, man, I really wish A Perfect Circle didn't drop a new album. What rhymes with Perfect Circle?
Yo, I used to watch Urkel, Family Matters, Glass Shatters, Home
Sound
Run
like
Batters.
a fucking Canadian rapper. And by that I mean you're
Like
born.
Chaos?
Yeah. And by that I mean I'm only going to care about you in 07 and immediately forget about you after Brian stops mentioning you.
Damn, no, I legitimately talked about Chaos back in like 07 all the time.
You legitimately talked about him
love
on this
Chaos.
podcast and I still forgot about him.
I loved Chaos. It was great.
Yeah. I think that was all our categories. We satisfied
Good job,
with the Hall
guys.
of Fame?
Yeah, no, I'm stoked.
Hall of Fame's list.
Have we decided where we're going to build it?
I mean, we've narrowed it down to where?
Definitely not Kentucky.
Billings, Montana. Nah, fuck Kentucky. Why would we build? There's only 3 good things to do in Kentucky: meth, your sister,
More meth.
and your
Repeat step 1 or 2.
your cousin's sister.
Go
Who's
to the
also your
Corvette
cousin?
Museum. I don't know. I feel like we're repeating the routine.
Is there a Corvette museum in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Of all the places you're gonna put a Corvette museum, why would
Yeah,
you put
it
in
had a
Kentucky?
sinkhole too. A couple of them fell into a hole, bro.
Yeah, that's the Earth trying to get rid of Kentucky.
So you used to have a comedy routine about New Mexico. Is your next one going to be about fucking Kentucky?
It might be. I hated Kentucky in episode 43. Episode 43, I really rail hard into Kentucky. I don't know why.
Wow. EP. It never gets
EP
old.
of the year.
It never gets old. Oh man, yo! So after I showed that video of Juan eating the burger, somebody commented or made a Twitter account and said like they're the burger that Will was eating.
Everything's just okay. So Jordan, you might appreciate this. Do you remember Nick Newell, the fighter that had like he was the congenital amputee? And he had like he was the MMA fighter in like the World Series of Fighting and a couple other leagues, and he had like a stump on his arm.
No.
Okay, so
Can
he
you
was
say stump?
Yeah, I can. He was a congenital amputee, and he didn't have his arm like right below his elbow, like right here, right? So he just had his elbow and then like a little piece of his arm out to like this area. Well, my one buddy used to just talk massive amounts of shit to Nick Newell on Twitter all the fucking time, right? And he would talk shit to him and go, "Hey man, I really think you need to wrap your stump. I don't think it's fair that you have to wrap your glove or you have to wrap your fist in a glove, but you don't need to wrap your stump. You can hit somebody with it and cause damage. I don't like that." And Nick Newell would respond to him and go, "What the fuck are you talking about? I can't hit anybody with this. It doesn't cause any damage. What do you mean? It's like this." And like they legitimately went back and forth because my friend was like, "Yo, you need to wrap your stump. You need to not fucking, you have to wrap your stump when you go into a fight." So then eventually Nick Newell blocks my buddy on Twitter, right? And like doesn't put up with him anymore. And then my buddy creates a brand new Twitter called Nick Newell Stump. And it was just a picture of Nick Newell Stump. And he would at every fight and commentate on all the fights as Nick Newell Stump. And so he would like judge he would give a fight.
Somebody
fight
did that
breakdown.
with Seth Rollins' knee.
he would give like,
but then like afterwards they made Seth Rollins' other knee.
I think that might have been what he took it from.
But ever notice Brian is basically an Adam Sandler character if he made a movie of having a podcast?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
But shout out Yikes for showing me some love for winning fantasy because I'm the fucking champion.
Yo, Jordan actually
fucking champion
won fantasy and declined the prize.
You didn't get the shirts, Jordan? Why?
Nah, because I don't want that. I don't want them. I play for the fucking glory.
Yeah, you do, Doug. You're
unless there was money involved.
Congratulating you on the win. That was dope.
You're so fun.
We didn't arrange a shirt thing. I was trying to figure out what I
still have it. I mean, you could still opt.
I want that lower D one. I was in the
Brian.
We will discuss offset.
I was
me and Brian cheated to try
for
to
the lower D one, and
I am the fucking champion.
Yeah, you won. You go into the. If we had a fantasy wing, you would go in there.
Yeah, I'm the first ever fantasy champion of our.
He's the first ever. He should get in there. He's the very first. It should be called
Two-timer, let's go.
We should have a
Jordan
trophy called the
Fantasy
Madro
Football
Trophy.
Champion Memorial Hall of Fame wing.
The Madro Trophy. We should have a Madro
Brought
Trophy.
to you
He
by
was the very
Permanente
first
Brothers.
the very first ever fantasy champion. We should have a Madro Trophy.
Fampion.
Fampion. You're a Fampion. Damn.
We'll talk about the name. We'll get there. We'll talk about that.
We are the Fampions.
We
My
are
friend.
I'd boot both of you if I could.
No time.
Okay, see you next week.
I knew I
We're
was
never
fucked.
getting into 200.
Of the world.